Hello y'all, it is your man, the Cozy Representative. Today, kind of a different kind of video, kind of off the cuff. This is a video that I'm very happy to be making because holy shit, this is a big deal. Ryan Ross has basically fucking returned to planet Earth in the past week, which, so who is Ryan Ross? You may be asking. Anyone who's remotely a fan of Panic at the Disco like myself knows who Ryan Ross is and knows the mythology and folklore behind this emo legend, but he was in the original version of Panic at the Disco back when they were a full band 10 or almost 15 years ago now. He pretty much wrote the entirety of Fever You Can't Sweat Out, which was a monumental, game-changing, insanely huge album and insanely timeless and good because it's still just as relevant and impactful as it was back in the day. It doesn't sound dated at all. You know what I mean? Kids are still getting into it, which is like crazy. He was on the Pretty Odd album, which I think was a lot of his kind of musical direction. They took a crazy left turn and made this Beatles sounding album that was super influenced by, 60s British invasion stuff and the Beach Boys, which was a crazy thing for a, huge emo band of that time to do. That was not in the rule book. You know what I mean? That was pretty far out of the norm, and they made a really authentic sounding great album. They hit the nail on the head of what they were going for. There are beautiful songs on that album. Pretty Odd's fucking great. And then after Pretty Odd, Ryan Ross and their bass player John Walker left Panic at the Disco. Sounds like career suicide, right? I mean, it kind of was. They started their own band called the Young Vanes, which is basically the sound that they had on Pretty Odd. It was kind of more of that, but almost even more in the direction of Pretty Odd than even Pretty Odd was, and lack of Brendon Urie. And the Young Vanes are a cool band. Take a Vacation is an awesome album. They only lasted about a year, and then they broke up. And Ryan Ross has pretty much been off of the face of the fucking earth since then. Obviously, Brendon Urie is a pop star now. You know what I mean? He had a couple years where he's still doing Panic, and it was kind of like after Ryan left and John, it was kind of like a dip in popularity and relevance, around the Vices and Virtues, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. People weren't really sure about the new Panic. But he kept going. Death of a Bachelor came along. Pray for the Wicked came along. He's huge now. Brendon Urie is, basically a solo pop star under the name Panic at the Disco. And this whole time, Ryan Ross has been nowhere to be found. The man that Brendon Urie would be nowhere if not for a high school aged Ryan Ross he penned, all those big original songs that brought them to, that brought Panic at the Disco to mainstream success in the old days. And he has sort of, in my eyes, kind of been this, like I was saying earlier, this mysterious, mythological, like ancient myth, because we just haven't heard from this guy. This I would call him a genius, honestly. The fact that, you know what I mean? I think A Fever You Can't Sweat Out and Pretty Odd are both masterpieces for what they are. And most of those albums were, from his brain. The last two things I was brushing up before making this video. The last two places that Ryan Ross has popped up in the last 9 years since the Young Vanes broke up was, at least as far as I know, he was featured on a William Beckett, formerly of the Academy Is. He was featured on a William Beckett solo song called Stuck in Love, great song. And in 2013, he made a SoundCloud where he posted 2 new songs, but nothing really came from that. And then since then, who the fuck knows? He stopped tweeting in 2014 or 15. His Instagram is just kind of like a picture of him every now and again. But I haven't heard of him doing any music or, he hasn't done an interview in years. And recently, that fucking changed. In the past week or so, I've been going crazy with this Ryan Ross content that we've been getting. So he's been leading up to this Dead End Kids tour, kind of promoting it on his Instagram for a few months now. And the tour is actually going on right now. I'm filming this on Tuesday, October 1st, and last night was the first date of the tour. Something crazy happened at that tour date, which we'll talk about in a second. For life is been sort of promoting this Dead End Kids tour with this Z Berg character, who I'm guessing is his significant other, but it's kind of funny because I can't fucking tell what this is. On his Instagram, it's like, there will be like, like a picture of him on stage singing, but like, what is he singing? What is this for? Is this Ryan Ross solo? Is the Dead End Kids a band? Who's Z Berg? Like, all these posts, there will be like, Z Berg prom night, like, featuring Ryan Ross. And it's like, okay, or he's in this music video, like, or something, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, so, but what's he doing? Is this Ryan Ross solo music? Is the Dead End Kids a band? Is he just, like, collaborating with Z Berg? I can't tell. He hasn't announced anything, or made allusion to anything of that besides there's going to be a Dead End Kids Club tour. Dead End Kids Club. Have I been saying that wrong this whole time? Let me make sure I know what that is. Dead End Kids. Let me make sure I'm actually saying this right. The Dead End Kids Club tour, Fall Ball, is what they're on right now. So it's according to like the show flyers and shit, it is the first annual Fall Ball, featuring Ryan Ross, Z Berg, Palm Springsteen, and Dan Keys. It's according to the website, a roaming homecoming dance, prom night the way it is in movies, a rascal caravan, a wandering waltz. Okay, traveling circus, alright. But what is it, though? It's like walking into a party thrown by your favorite musicians who also happen to be best friends. Blah, 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 blah. But what is, if you go to one of these shows, what's going to happen? Is Ryan Ross going to play a solo set? Is it going to be, I take it, I thought it was a band. But at this point, I don't really think it is. Either way, anyway, yeah, so that's that. They're on tour right now. Maybe we'll find out more about what that is in the future. Another crazy thing that happened was he did a motherfucking interview that dropped a few days ago with some guy named Crank That Frank. I don't know who that is, but now I do, because Ryan Ross did an interview with him. I'm pretty sure the last time Ryan Ross did an interview was in, like, 2010 for the Young Vanes, so this is, like, insane. I, like, freaked out when I watched this interview, because I was like, there he is, that's Ryan Ross in 2019, that's the man, the myth, the legend, the man that wrote Kamisato and Time to Dance and all that shit. He's back, he's here, he's alive. He kind of looks like Adam Lazzara now a little bit. It's really cool. And he said some nice things. He said, probably, he was talking about the Dead End Kids Club a little bit. Still, I didn't really get any more information about what it is from that. He's got, I think, a dead girl on him. A real girl, but she's dead and she's fallen off. I'm pretty sure that's Z Berg. I'm pretty sure it is. So she's in the cut. But yeah, he said some really cool things about Old Panic in the interview. He said his favorite song on Fever is I Constantly Thank God for Esteban, which I think is awesome. He also said that he was asked if he's still in contact with any of his old Panic band members, and he said, not as much as I'd like to be, which is insane, because I think for anybody, obviously Brendan is off doing all this kind of stuff, and, Ryan Ross is whatever, but I think for any Panic at the Disco fan, no matter from what era you're a fan of, whether you remember when A Fever You Can't Sweat Out came out, like me, or you're just getting into them now and have worked your way back, I think seeing Brendan and Ryan together would be like on par with a My Chemical Romance reunion. Heads would pop, tickets would be flying out the ticket booths. You know what I mean? It would be insane. So it was nice to hear him talk about Panic in a good light. And another crazy thing that I woke up to this morning, and it brought a tear to my eye. It was crazy enough hearing him talk about Panic, or even seeing him in general, but last night was the first night of the Dead End Kids Club tour, and there is a video of Ryan Ross and Z Berg on stage covering the Panic at the Disco classic song, Northern fucking Downpour. Oh my god, it was insane.
Hey moon, please forget to fall down. Hey moon, don't you go down.
It's insane. That's crazy. This is some crazy shit that's happening. And And I love it. I'm here for it. Let's do more of it. I come on, Ryan. I've missed Ryan Ross so much. I've been a Ryan Ross fan for so long. I loved his voice. I loved his writing. You know what I mean? New Panic at the Disco is cool. I like it a lot. But, you know, obviously that Ryan Ross flair was noticeable and you know, has been missed by many people. And he's such a cool guy. Seemingly, you know, I don't know him in person, but, you know, it's just, it warms my little emo heart to see Ryan Ross doing stuff again. So, you know, what is the Dead End Kids Club? I don't know, but they're on tour. Is Ryan Ross making like a solo album? I don't fucking know. Will he be returning to Panic? Like, probably not, but all this stuff is like, it's like Christmas Day for an old school Panic fan, I'll tell you what. So yeah, what on earth is Ryan Ross doing? I don't really know, but he's back. He did an interview and he's on tour and it's fucking awesome. So I would like more Ryan Ross content. I am always here for it. One thing I would love to hear him do, like an hour-long, at least, like, podcast interview with somebody where he talks about, you know, I want to hear him talking about the Panic days from his perspective now, and talking about the split, and talking about what he thinks of, you know, new Brendan Urie solo Panic. Hear him talk about the Young Vanes even, because the Young Vanes were a cool band. So yeah, anyways, I just wanted to make this video because this has been really crazy, exciting shit. This is important. This is a big deal. You know what I mean? This is like, Ryan Ross is back, guys. Ryan Ross is back. It's insane. So anyway, this has been the Cozy Representative. Peace out. Share your thoughts on, you know, the new Ryan Ross shit. What do you think is going on? Do you know more than me about this Ryan Ross return? Anyways, it's been the Cozy Representative. I love ya. 2019, baby. We out here. Ryan Ross, it's a fever you can't sweat out. It's the Dead End Kids Club. It's 2019. It's coming at you. It's the Cozy Representative signing off. Peace out.